In the shadowy annals of clandestine operations, few artifacts stir the imagination quite like the CIA's heart attack gun. This weapon, officially designated as a non-discernible micro-binoculator, represents a chilling chapter in the history of espionage. It was a device born from the darkest corners of Cold War paranoia, a period where secrecy was paramount. The gun's existence was dramatically revealed to the public during the Church Committee hearings in 1975. These hearings were convened to investigate abuses by the Central Intelligence Agency, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the National Security Agency. Senator Frank Church, chairing the committee, presented the weapon as a stark symbol of unchecked power. Then, CIA Director William Colby was forced to testify about the weapon's development and intended purpose. Colby's testimony confirmed the agency's foray into creating untraceable assassination tools. The heart attack gun was not a conventional firearm. It fired a very special type of projectile. The projectile was a tiny dart, about the size of a sewing needle and only a few millimeters long. This dart was crafted from a frozen, concentrated dose of a lethal shellfish toxin. The toxin, saxitoxin, was a potent neurotoxin capable of inducing rapid paralysis and cardiac arrest. Upon impact with the target's skin, the frozen dart would melt almost instantly. It would leave behind only a minuscule red dot, easily mistaken for an insect bite or a pimple. This made the entry point of the poison virtually undetectable to a casual observer or even a medical examiner. The saxitoxin would then enter the bloodstream and begin its deadly work. The symptoms were designed to perfectly mimic a massive coronary event, a heart attack. The victim would feel a sudden onset of weakness, dizziness, and then collapse. Death would follow swiftly, often within minutes of the initial injection. Crucially, the saxitoxin was engineered to denature rapidly within the body. This meant that a standard autopsy would find no trace of the poison. The official cause of death would almost certainly be recorded as natural. The weapon itself was a modified pistol, reportedly a Colt 1911, fitted with a scope. It was electrically powered, making it nearly silent when fired. This silence was a key feature, allowing for its use in public spaces without drawing attention. An operative could be standing in a crowd, fire the weapon, and simply walk away unnoticed. The effective range was stated to be up to 100 meters. This provided a significant standoff distance for the assassin, enhancing their safety and deniability. The development of such a weapon was part of a broader, top-secret CIA program known as Naomi. Naomi ran from the 1950s into the early 1970s, a dark era of biochemical research. This program was a joint operation with the U.S. Army's Special Operations Division at Fort Detrick. Fort Detrick was the center of the U.S. biological weapons program for many years. The goal of Naomi was to create a stockpile of deadly biological and chemical agents. These agents were to be available for clandestine use by CIA operatives. The program explored a horrifying variety of substances, from nerve agents to toxins. It also developed sophisticated delivery systems, like the heart attack gun. Other systems included poison-laced cigars intended for foreign leaders. Poison pens and even contaminated diving suits were also part of the agency's macabre inventory. The revelation of these plots sent shockwaves through the American public and the world. It exposed a side of the intelligence community that was previously only imagined in spy novels. The idea that a government agency was actively developing tools for silent, untraceable murder was deeply disturbing. During his testimony, Director Colby claimed the heart attack gun was never used in an actual operation. He maintained that it was a prototype, a proof of concept that was never deployed in the field. However, the committee found that the agency's record-keeping on such matters was notoriously poor. This lack of clear records has fueled decades of speculation and conspiracy theories. Many observers find it difficult to believe that such a perfect assassination tool would simply be shelved. The potential for plausible deniability was simply too high for it to be ignored. Any influential person who died suddenly from a heart attack became a potential candidate for this theory. These theories often point to political activists, journalists, or foreign officials who were at odds with U.S. interests. The case of Andrew Breitbart, a conservative publisher who died of a heart attack in 2012, is a modern example. Just before his death, he claimed to have damaging information about a prominent political figure. His sudden demise at a relatively young age immediately sparked rumors of a sophisticated assassination. Coroner's report cited heart failure, but skeptics remained unconvinced. They argued that a weapon like the heart attack gun would produce exactly such a finding. Another prominent case is that of Mark Pittman, a journalist who reported on the 2008 financial crisis. Pittman was suing the Federal Reserve for more transparency and died of a heart attack in 2009. His death, like Breitbart's, was seen by some as too convenient to be a coincidence, without concrete evidence. However, these remain firmly in the realm of conspiracy theory. The official narrative is that the gun was a relic of a bygone era of unchecked intelligence operations. The Church Committee's revelations led to significant reforms intended to prevent such abuses. President Gerald Ford signed an executive order in 1976 explicitly forbidding political assassinations. This order was a direct response to the committee's findings about plots against foreign leaders. However, the legacy of the heart attack gun endures as a powerful symbol. It represents the ultimate expression of covert action, murder with plausible deniability. The technology itself, while shocking in 1975, is likely rudimentary by modern standards. One can only speculate on the kinds of untraceable methods that may have been developed since. Advances in biotechnology, nanotechnology, and pharmacology open up even more terrifying possibilities. Could a targeted virus be engineered to induce a heart attack in a specific individual? Could nanobots be programmed to target the cardiac muscle and cause failure? These questions, once the domain of science fiction, are now uncomfortably plausible. The heart attack gun serves as a historical benchmark for the state-of-the-art in deniable assassination. Its story is a cautionary tale about the temptations of absolute power and secrecy. When a state can kill its enemies without a trace, the very concept of accountability is threatened. The line between protecting national security and committing murder becomes dangerously blurred. The public's fascination with the weapon has not waned over the decades. It frequently appears in movies, television shows, and novels about espionage. This cultural footprint keeps the memory of the weapon and its implications alive. It forces a continued, if sometimes sensationalized, conversation about the limits of state power. The core of the issue is the tension between security and liberty. How many secrets must a government keep to protect its citizens? And at what point does that secrecy become a threat to the citizens themselves? The heart attack gun lies at the extreme end of that spectrum. It is a tool designed not for intelligence gathering, but for elimination. Its existence confirmed that the darkest fears about spy agencies could be real. The weapon's genius was in its subtlety, its ability to hide in plain sight. A death that appears natural raises no alarms and triggers no investigation. There's no martyr, no public outcry, no demand for justice. The target simply ceases to be a problem, quietly and efficiently. This is the ultimate goal of a deniable operation. The Church Committee's work was a monumental effort in democratic oversight. It pulled back the curtain on a world that was never meant to be seen by the public. The heart attack gun was perhaps its most shocking exhibit. It demonstrated that the capacity for such actions existed at the highest levels of government. Whether that capacity was ever translated into action remains the central, unanswered question. The official denial is on the record, but so is the weapon itself. This duality leaves the door open for endless debate and suspicion. The hidden agenda, if there was one, was to possess the perfect tool of political control. A weapon that could remove any obstacle, any dissenting voice, without consequence. It was the physical manifestation of the phrase, to neutralize a threat. The term neutralizes is a classic euphemism for assassination in intelligence circles. The gun made this euphemism a terrifyingly clean reality. Moral and ethical questions raised by the weapon are profound. Does a state have the right to kill in secret to protect its interests? If so, where is the line drawn between protection and tyranny? The heart attack gun forces an uncomfortable confrontation with these questions. It is a reminder that the tools of power can be both seductive and monstrous. The debate continues today in discussions about drone strikes and targeted killings. These modern methods are more overt, but they stem from the same strategic impulse: the desire to eliminate threats from a safe distance with maximum efficiency. The heart attack gun, however, retains its unique horror due to its absolute stealth. It was a ghost in the machine of international politics. Its victims would never know what hit them, and the world would never know they were victims. This complete erasure of the crime is the weapon's most chilling feature. It allows history to be written without acknowledging the assassination. The narrative remains clean, the official record undisturbed. The silent assassination is the perfect crime, leaving no clues. It leaves only the lingering ghost of a question, a whisper of what if. This is the enduring, unsettling legacy of the CIA's heart attack gun. A weapon designed not just to kill a person, but to kill the truth itself. The secrecy surrounding its potential use created a vacuum of information. This vacuum was naturally filled by suspicion and paranoia. The agency's own history of covert actions lent credibility to the darkest theories. From Guatemala to Iran, the CIA's interventions were well documented. Given this track record, denying the use of a developed weapon seemed naive. The gun became a symbol of the deep state's perceived power, an invisible government operating outside the bounds of law and accountability. This narrative, while popular, is difficult to prove or disprove. The truth remains locked away in classified archives, if it was ever written down at all. Weapons Story is a powerful lesson in the importance of transparency. It highlights the dangers of allowing intelligence agencies to operate without oversight. The Church Committee was a rare moment of such oversight. It affirmed the principle that no part of the government is above the law. Yet, the question lingers. Did the reforms truly end such programs? Or did they simply force them deeper into the shadows? The heart attack gun is more than a historical curiosity. It is a perpetual question mark hanging over the history of covert operations. It represents the constant struggle between the need for security and the preservation of democratic values. Weapons silence is its most eloquent statement. It speaks volumes about the dark possibilities that lurk beneath the surface of statecraft. Ultimately, the full story of the heart attack gun may never be known. Its secrets are likely to remain buried, a permanent enigma in the archives of espionage. This uncertainty is, perhaps, the final victory of the weapon's design. It created a mystery that continues to confound and fascinate, ensuring its own legend. The gun's legacy is a permanent shadow of doubt cast upon official narratives. It serves as a chilling reminder that the most effective weapon might be the one you never knew was there.